All right, so we're at the table. What we're going to need is our scissors. We're going to need our yarn needle to weave in our ends. We're going to need a 4.5 millimeter hook. I'm using 3 colors in order to make this hat. And I'm going to start with the tan. So we have tan, a chocolate brown, and a kind of like a off-white cream. So we're going to start with the tan. Okay, so we will be beginning this with a magic circle. This is how I make mine. Just take and wrap my yarn around my fingers, kind of creating that X that you see. And then I'm going to take and place this in here. All right, so if I was to take my fingers out and pull it, it would be a knot. But I'm not. I'm going to leave that loop there. Grab my yarn and I chain 1 just for securities. Now I'm going to go back into the circle and I'm going to make 6 single crochets. So I'm going to go in, grab my yarn, come up, 2 loops on my hook, and then take both of them off. So that is 2 single crochets, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 single crochets. We're going to close that off just by pulling that extra tail. Put my tail in the back. And we're going to be working in the rounds for this. So I'm going to grab my piece of string, which is acting as my stitch marker today, and I'm going to go into that very first single crochet, and I'm going to make 2 single crochets in that same space. So 1 and 2. Into the next stitch as well, we'll go in and place 2 single crochets. And the next stitch, 2 single crochets, and we'll do that all the way till we come back around to our stitch marker, and our 6 single crochets in round 2 should become 12 single crochets. Now I'm just going to move my stitch marker on the opposite side, and we're going to go in that first single crochet, and we're just going to place 1 single crochet. Into the next single crochet in this round, we're going to place 2 single crochets. And the next single crochet in the round, we'll go and place 1, and in the next single crochet, we will place 2. So we will continue that pattern all the way around for this round of 1 single crochet, and the next one to increase with 2 single crochets. Okay, so we come back around to our stitch marker, going to pull it forward now, and we have 18 single crochets in this round. Now we'll move on to the 4th round. And the pattern for the 4th round is that first single crochet. We'll do 1 single crochet. The second one, we'll get 1 single crochet. And the third one, we'll get 2 single crochets. So our pattern is 1 single crochet in the next one, 1 single crochet, and in the next one we'll do 2 single crochets. And we'll do that all the way to the end of this round. Okay, so we've come to the end of that round. So we should have 24 single crochets on that round, and we come to our 5th round. And the pattern for this round is going to be 3 single crochets and then an increase of 2 single crochets and 1 stitch. So we'll go into the first one and put 1 single crochet, the next one one single crochet, and the next one single crochet. So the fourth one will be 2 single crochets. So again, that's 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and the 4th stitch will get an increase of 2 single crochets, and we'll do that all the way around. Okay, so we're going to bring our stitch marker up, and for round 5 we should have 30 single crochets all the way around. Moving on to round 6, we're going to go into the first one, then we're going to do 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches, and then an increase. Four single crochets, and then an increase, which is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and we'll do that all the way around for our 6th round. So for round 6 we should have 36 single crochets. I'll pull this up and put it over, and I'm going to go into my next stitch, and now our pattern should be 5 single crochets and an increase in the 6th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we increase, placing 2 single crochets in the 6th. So we'll do that all the way around. So for the 7th round, we should have 42 single crochets, and for round 8, we'll go into 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we'll place an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an increase, and we'll do that all the way around. 1, and increase. Okay, so now let's move this over, and now for this round we want to do 7 single crochets in the next 7 stitches, and then increase in the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we're going to increase on the next one. So we'll do that all the way around. Okay, so we're going to be doing the next 5 rounds in this same way, but we will increase on each round. Okay, so by 1. So we just did 7. Our next round would be 8, then an increase. The following round would be 9, and then an increase. And the next round would be 10, and then an increase. I'm going to go all the way up to round 14, where I'll be doing 12 single crochets and then an increase. So remember that this is the head crown size, so this is going to be the crown of the head. It's going to be as snug or as loose as you want it to be. You're just going to keep following this method in order to make it bigger, or follow this method and not make it as big. And here's where I stand. So I have my 14 rounds, I should say. And now that I am done, I just want to, now we're going to change stitches here. All right. We're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to continue working in the round, but now we're going to be working half doubles. So we're going to yarn over, go into that first stitch on the other side of our stitch marker, grab our yarn, come up. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and we're going to take off all 3. And we're going to do 1 round of simply half doubles all the way around. I have gone all the way around doing 1 round of half doubles. Now we'll be keeping to our half doubles until we get back to the brim. Now this is the part where it gets interesting, and we're going to bring in these other colors. Okay, so we're going to pause on this for a minute, and we're going to look at these. So I showed you all the yarn that I wanted to use for this, and what I want to do is make little balls, because I plan on having 4 sections with both colors involved. I think I'm going to bring this color in twice, like break it up. You'll see where I'm going with this, but I want to have about 4 balls of each color, if not more, because I want 4 sections, or maybe 5, we'll see, but at least 4 sections. No, I think I'm gonna do 5, so I'm gonna bring in some more of this brown. So I'm gonna do 5 sections, even though we see 4 here. I'm gonna make some more balls, and I want to show you how to bring that in. So we've already moved up our yarn stitch marker. So I've already made my first half double for this round, because we're still working in the round. And I'm just going to move down a little bit. Remember, we're making our half doubles. I almost made a single crochet there. So we're going to yarn over and go through and pull all 3 loops off. So this is as far enough down as I need to go. And I think I'll start with a small one. So I'm going to take in my brown, right? And I'm just going to place this in back and hold it with my finger back here. Right? Now I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go into the next stitch, grab my yarn and come up. And now I'm not going to finish with this one. I'm going to drop that. I'm going to pick up this brown, and I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull the brown through. Now notice that we can't see the brown on that stitch. That stitch is still the color it's supposed to be, but we already have our brown on our hook, so we can continue to go around with our brown. Now the tan color, we want to carry that along with us, so when we're ready to pick it back up, it's right there. So again, I'm holding it on the back, and we'll be working over this, so when we go into the next stitch, we'll go under that as well. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go in the next stitch. Notice that I'm going under that tan yarn right there, grab my yarn and come up, and then I'm going to make my half double. And we'll just keep working on top of that tan. And this isn't an exact amount. You just want to go with your new color, making your half doubles, making sure you carry your tan along for as long as you want to. Because this little pocket, and wait, I have another hat that I've done like this, so I'm going to bring this in real quick so I can kind of show you. Okay, so this right here is what we're doing. Now let's open this up so we can see this one. Now you notice this one is wide, so this is kind of where we are, where we're starting, and we're adding in that brown that we're doing on the other piece. So I've added in my brown, and I'll go as far as I want to, then I'll stop and pick up my other color, and then I'll pick back up my original color, my tan. And then when I come down to this row or this round, I'll come in wherever I feel comfortable coming in, and then I'll switch off whenever I feel comfortable. And I'll kind of do the same thing on every row until I decide I want to stop. Now this can be 3 rounds deep, it could be 4, it could be 5, it could be this whole entire section. But I've decided to do little pockets. Like this one is not as long, not as many rows as that one. And you see it looks totally different. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Oh, it's exactly, not kind of. It's exactly what we're doing here. You see? So again, I'm going to do 5, so I have to make more. But we just want to place them, and it gives it a nice look. So let's go back in. And let's focus more on the switching of the colors, because other than that, this is really going to be your character interpreted on your hat. Bringing in as many colors as you would like, however you would like. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to stop. So I'm going to go in, grab my yarn and come up. And I'm going to drop the brown, and let's go ahead and grab one of these smaller sections of tan, and then I'm going to bring the tan in the same way we brought the brown in. I'll demonstrate that again because I feel like I did that a little bit too fast. So we have our 3 loops on our hook. We'll grab our cream and we'll just pull the cream through. So now that brown stitch is all brown, but our cream is on our hook, so we can go ahead and yarn over and begin to move down. Now when we're moving down, we're leaving the brown there. We're not taking that brown with us, okay, because when we're ready to pick that brown up, that brown will be there for the next row. So we're not going to bring the brown with us. We're just going to make sure we're working over our tan. Where is it at? Yeah, there we go. We're still working over our tan. And we'll go in the next stitch and we'll go ahead and make that half double, and we'll half double all the way down. Now remember, our brown is sitting right there in the back, so when we come back around to the next row, we could pick up that brown wherever we want to. Even if we bring it in sooner, we'll just grab it and bring it there, but we don't want to carry that color with us. So let's do a few of these. I think I'm going to stop, and I'll do one more. And I'll go in and I won't complete that half double. I am now going to drop that. And I'm going to pick up my brown. Oh, okay. And not my brown. I'm going to pick up my tan. But just so you know, you can pick up your brown back here and go some more in brown. This is, again, all your interpretation. But I'm going to pick up my tan, and I'm going to end that half double off with my tan. Pull that half double with the cream down some. And now I'm going to leave my cream there, and I'm only working with the tan. I'm not carrying along anything else, just the tan. And I'm going to go around again. Now, remember, at one time, you can have multiple different balls of yarn attached. Because this row, I'm not going to bring in anything else until I come over here. So when I get over here, I'll bring in another color. But then that means I have multiple colors attached on my hat at one time. So this is why you want to keep your balls fairly small. If you're good at grafting and such, then you know how to maintain your balls. We won't be doing this for too many rows, so you shouldn't have to worry about this long project with this on it. So listen, I'm going to go all the way around to just placing my tan half doubles in until I get to the next area in which I want to put my bring my colors back in. All right, so I'm about right here. seems like a good place to bring in some color. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into my next stitch and make half of my half double. I have 3 loops on my hook. We're going to start with the cream. So I'm going to get my cream on my finger, grab my yarn, and I'm just going to pull that right through. Now remember, I'm working over my tan. So just continue making my half doubles, working right over the tan. And again, just like before, you're just going to keep working this color until you're ready to pick up another color. Alright, I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to bring in some brown. So I get my brown on my finger. I have 3 loops left from my cream. I'm going to put my brown on my hook and I'm going to bring that through. And now I'm still working over my tan. I'll begin making my half doubles in brown. Okay, I'm going to make one more. And I'm going to stop there, drop my brown, and pick up my tan and finish that stitch in tan. And then I'm going to continue this round in tan. Alright, now I am one away. Let's see. I want to move my yarn stitch marker up, so to hold that space I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to go into my next stitch, and I am now still working in the round. Now I have to bring my brown back in, right? So I want to bring my brown back in right where I am. So I'm going to yarn up, and I have 3 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to, just because I want to show you, I'm just going to bring my brown all the way back here. Now you see this? I'm bringing it all the way back over here. And I'm going to start. Now I don't want to pull too tight because I've stretched this quite a bit. Normally I wouldn't stretch it this much, but I'm only doing it to show you that to each his own. You bring in your brown where you want to. Normally I would have started over here somewhere, so I'm not as far away, but I wanted to show you that that's an option as well. This is your piece. We're going to work our pieces how we want to work our pieces. So I'm yarning over, and I'm going to still carrying my tan. I'm going to go into the next one and place my first brown. Now mind you, now I have this long brown. When you're working over your tan, work over that brown as well. Let's see how that looks. We're going to yarn over, and then the next one, which is already brown, we're going to go into that stitch. Now notice I want my brown over there as well as my tan. Let me do that again and make my half double, and I'm going to keep going one, making sure I'm covering my tan and that brown. You see? I know you can see it. So that was the brown that we stretched all the way over there. No worries, because we can just work over that as we go. You see that? So we are just working over that as we go. Now I'm going to take, because I want to demonstrate that again, I'm going to take my cream, and I'm going to bring my cream all the way over here. So now we're going to be working over that line as well. So when I yarn over, we have to start our next brown. So just go in, pull up. We have our 3 loops on our hook. So I'm going to drop my brown, and now I'm going to pick up that cream. And that cream is taking a mighty journey from all the way over there, just like our brown did. And we're going to pull that through. Now we don't want it, mind you, you don't want it to pull, so you want to make sure it has a little space, because we're going to cover it up anyway. Make sure it's not tight, because you don't want it to pull your hat on the other side. And now we're going to yarn over, and we're going to be working over the tan and the cream that we stretched all the way over here. We can even continue working over that brown some more if we felt it necessary. I really don't feel it necessary. So I'm not going to do it, or am I? Let's do it. Let's do it so we can see how it looks. So I'll make sure I get that all under there. You see? And you can't tell what's going on underneath that stitch. So don't feel like you have to stay in that exact area. As you see with this one, you can stretch it. Now I'm done going over my brown in the back. You see that brown is right there. Now where it was stretched across, you can't see it. And the rest of the stretch that comes from pulling that cream all the way over here, we're going to keep tacking that down as we go. I say tacking it down, but working over it. Now I think I'm going to go a few creams past where we ended before, about here, and I'm going to go in and end it here. Now I drop both of those. I drop my cream, and I pick my tan up, and I finish in my tan, and I leave everything behind me and just continue on with my tan. So as you can see, we're working that out. So that's going to be really nice. And we're going to make this again, however we want it to. So I've shown you how you can long stretch. Short stretches are easy, but if you have that long stretch, that you're just going to work over that as you're working over your tan. And the same with here. If you have a long stretch, you know, so that way you feel comfortable bringing it in however you want to. Now we'll go over this one too, so I'm going to work back around till I get there, because on this row I'm not going to add, on this round I'm not going to add another color in. We're going to wait to the third round to bring in another section. Okay, so I am coming back up to where my cream began. Now for this one, to show you something different, I'm going to take my tan into my cream. Now I'm going to hold here, and I'm going to grab my cream and add my cream on. Remember, I don't want it to be a tight pull. Okay. And I'm going to continue working over my tan, as well as the pull from the cream. Right? So it looks clean in the inside of our hat as much as possible, and we don't look like we have all these crisscross lines going all over the place. Now I'm coming into brown territory, and I'm going to keep going. Alright, I think I'll stop there and I'll bring my brown. So remember, we're getting the brown that's right here in this location. And I want to pull it up and pull it through. Making sure I'm not too tight here. And we always want to pull down the color that we finish with. We always want to give that a little tug down. And now I'm going to continue on with my brown, working over my tan and whatever brown that may be, again, like this, loose in the back. Alright, I think I'll stop there and bring my tan back in. So I drop my brown, grab my tan, and pull my tan through. And pull my brown down. And we're just going to continue on just with the tan. This is how this is looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way here. And I'll bring you in when I'm ready to bring my brown in, because then we're going to introduce a new color over here. Alright, so I've brought my yarn stitch marker up. Wait a minute. Okay, so I brought my yarn stitch marker up, and I'm going to make that next half double. Again, we are still working in the round. And I'm going to go in just a little bit. And I'm going to stop out right there. I think I'll bring my brown in right there. And now remember to pull that last stitch down with the last color. And we're working over our tan. We have our brown on our hook. And again, we're going over that stretch of brown that we brought over as well. And we're going to keep doing this. We're going to do this for as long as we want. You might not want yours to be 3 rows long. Maybe you want it 5 rows long. However, whenever you're ready to end, you just want to stop using that color. You know, maybe I say I don't want any more brown, and I just will work this area back and forth with cream from here on out. You know, it's totally up to you. I never know exactly what I'm going to do until I'm in the moment. And it's like, it's just a feel. Whatever. Let's get that brown out the way. Okay. You know, whatever I feel like doing is what I'm doing as I'm working it. Hold on, wait, we got our brown caught up in our mix. I'm going to pull this out. So one thing you don't want to do is trap your color under your other color. And that is exactly what I just did. Trap my brown under my color. So, I'm sorry. So, you know, we want to drop that brown down before we grab the next color, because we don't want to trap one color under another color. So let me do that, then drop it, because I didn't drop it. Grab our yarn and pull through. And again, make sure we are not pulling that cream too tight. And keep going. So yeah, no, you want to, it's just a feeling. I never know exactly what I'm going to do, how it's going to be. I'm just going to keep going, and when I feel the stop, I stop. we're literally about to stop that cream. We only did about 4 stitches in it, and I'm gonna drop the cream and pick up the tan and keep going in the tan. Now, how far down will I go? You don't have to go all the way down to your brim with any one particular area, section that you're doing. Maybe you just want one, just for one little, and let's bring that up here in my reference point. Maybe you just want one section. Wow, maybe you want 2, maybe you want 3. I said I was going to do 5. I don't feel like getting more balls. We're going to keep this at 4 because I don't want to be too much over the place and it gets confusing. So again, you're just going to keep going back and forth as you see fit, and when you're ready to stop, you stop. Back and forth however you see fit, and again, when you're ready to stop, you're just going to stop. You know? And the hat's going to go down as long as you want it to. Yeah, like I like to do my hats with 12 rows. So in my head, I'm thinking 12 rows. Let's move this out the way. I'm thinking about 12 rows. So right now I've done 1 round, just a plain tan. And then 1 row, just a plain tan. And then 2, 3, 4. So I am on my 4th row. So if I'm going to go down to 12 rows, then I'm going to think about how much do I want to do this. So maybe I do 1 5 rows rounds, 1 4, and then I'll bring in 1 about here, you know, but I'm about to bring in the one that's right here. Maybe I'll go down 1 more row and I'll bring in this one, and then this one, because these are so close together, I'll bring this down like right before the brim, you know. Again, it is a feeling. And as you can see, our hat, because we are now working all the way around without making any increases, you see our hat is starting to form. So yeah, I'm going to keep going around. I'm going to do the same thing. I think I've well explained this. I will come in one more time when I add my new color on the next round, just so you can see how it looks. Pull in that new color. What new color? It's going to be the same colors, but I'm going to put one about right here. So I just want you to get the feel of just how to feel. It's really just your feelings. Pour it out into this little design on the hat. And when we're ready to be done, we just want to cut it off, you know, enough space so we can just weave that loose end in. All right, so next time I come back in, I'll have gone all the way around and I'll be on my next round and about right in here. So when I want to bring in another patch. Okay, so I'm coming back in now. I had said that when I got in this area that I was going to go ahead and add on another one, but I decided to go around one more time. So I'm going this way. So one more time, because I want to add my new row right around here, but I'm going to go around one more time and give it a little bit more space. But when I come here and I'm on my next round, what I want to do is I think I want to bring in my brown for the last time right here. So I'm going to drop that and pick up my brown, and I just want to show you how to end off a section. So I'm working just like we've been working, right over the tan, And we're going to go ahead and just cut this off. I'm going to go a little bit into the cream. And right there, I'm going to switch to the cream. And then go down as far as I want with the cream. Now the cream, I'm actually going to stop here, drop that, and come back in with my tan. And then continue on with my tan. Now, like I said, with my brown, I'm going to be finished. Now it's cute because my brown is already finishing off itself anyway, so my brown was pretty much already done. So when I finish this area and I know that I'm not going to work my brown any longer, I will just come in and weave that in later. Okay, just weave that right in later. So that is done, and I'll finish with this section. Now what I'll do is with the cream, I'll let the cream come in one more time, and I'll probably go cap the cream around here. So when I'm coming back around again, I'll probably bring my cream over and just give a layer of cream underneath that, and then that area will be totally done. So again, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go down just a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and bring in another set of colors. Let's see, let's start with the brown. That's a good enough spot as any. Get my brown on. I have my 3 tans, loops tan on, and I'm going to pull that right through there, yarn over, and then just begin a new section. Now here I'm going to do a little differently because I'm just going to start with my brown on this row right here, and on my next row I'll add the cream to this. So this first row, instead of what you saw me do before where I added both at the same time, the next row I'll come in and add the cream. So right now just the brown, pick my tan back up, and then I keep going with my tan. So on the next round I'll come in and start my cream and then go on. So you don't always have to do both colors in the first row. You can break that up. You can alternate rows. You can pretty much do as you please. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out my hat in its entirety. I already showed you what to do when you are done with a color. You just want to leave a long enough strand to weave that in later on and secure that. And I'm just going to go on playing this out as I feel it's going to be cute. Later on down the line, when I get closer to the brim area, I'll bring in the last side somewhere over here. Now remember, I'm going to do about 12 rows. This is going to sit on your head, so you can always try it on. If you want more space, then you'll give yourself more rows, but I'm going to go 12, and then we'll come in together. We'll see how this pattern has worked out on this hat for me, and we'll bring in our brim, which will be quick and easy. Okay, so I have gone all the way around my hat, and I almost forgot to bring in my fourth one. So I kind of started on the last row, bringing it in. So we're going to just have to end early. Now, if I wanted to be cute, I could pull this into the brim, but I don't want to. So what I'm going to do, grab my scissors, and I just want to cut off that color yarn and get that on out of here, because I am ready to start my brim. I've gone all the way around, and you know, it's cool. I like it. I really wasn't thinking much. I kind of was just doing it, which is why I forgot to bring in my fourth one. Now we're going to be switching back to single crochets, and as you see, here is my yarn stitch marker. So I'm going to pull this down, and I still have to change back to my color. I probably should have did it on the last one, but it's okay. So I'm going to go into that next stitch, grab my yarn, and come up. I have 2 loops on my hook because I'm going to be making single crochets. I'm going to pick my tan back up and then make that single crochet. Now for this row, and I'm just going to make my next one just to hold that color change down. So this began our first single crochet. On this row, we're going to be doing 1 single crochet, and in the next one, 2 single crochets. So we'll be increasing in the second stitch. Okay, so again, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then in the next one, 2 single crochets, and 1 single crochet, and then the next 2 single crochets. So we have 1 single crochet, then we'll increase in the next stitch and place 2. 1 single crochet will increase in the next and place 2. So 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch will place 2 single crochets. Now we're going to do that all the way around our whole hat. It's going to give me just a nice curve of my brim. If you want more ruffles in your brim, then do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So each stitch is an increase of 2 single crochets. But me, I want 1 single crochet and then 2. And again, this brim is another great place where we can add our own character and our own flair. If we want it super ruffly, then 2 single crochets in each stitch on this row, 2 single crochets on the next row, and every stitch if you want it super ruffly. But you'll see as you grow that the increase is where you're going to get your nice little ruffles. And again, I kind of want to keep this one nice and simple and sophisticated. So on this row, 1 single crochet, and then 2. And when we get to the end of this round, because we're still working in the round, I just find it simpler when doing the hat. We don't have to worry about that line going down the hat showing where we are starting and stopping a new row. So just go all the way around like this, and when we come back to where we begin, we'll go around some more, but those will all just be single crochets. Okay, so I've come back around to where I began. I actually remember the white, remember the cream one that I started with actually is part of the first round of the brim, but I went into that one and finished there, which is fine. What I want to do now is I'm just going to keep going around in the round doing single crochets. And I'm going to do this maybe for about 8 rows total. So I'll be doing this for 7 more rows. I'm going to see how I like that. But you're just going to carry on your brim for as long as you want. I will tell you if I do 8 total or not, because we already did 1. If I do 7 more, or how I like it. I like to play with my hats, and I might do one way and do the same type of style but do it another way. So I'm gonna see how I like the flow of this one and how it looks. So I'll let you know exactly how many rows that I do. And remember, if you want more of a ruffle, because you can kind of see where this is going to start. It's just going to be nice and simple. If you want more of a ruffle, remember you can continue on this row as well with increases in order to give you more of a ruffle. So, you know, the brim is, it doesn't take too long to do the brim. So this area you could play. If you do it and you don't like it, just frog it a little bit and come back in more for a grander effect with the ripples, or a calmer effect with the ripples. All right, so I'm going to make my 8 rows in total, and we're just going to keep going around, going all the way around in a circle, all the way around until I get to my end, and then I'll come back in and let you know what I've done, and we'll look at it. And for me, again, I'm just doing 1 single crochet now all the way around. Okay, so I have gone down and did 7 rows. All right, because 7 gave me that nice deep bucket brim, you know, where you can almost hide your eyes. So I like that. I'm just going to cut my yarn, and when we ended, you see I stopped pulling this down. I could pretty much gauge where I was, so I stopped feeding my yarn down. I just want to go in and slip stitch into the next one, and that's it. And when I weave this down, I'll feed it through, so this will lay flat, flush with that. You won't even see that. And at this point we are done. So again, I did 7 rows total instead of 8. It gave me that nice little shady brim, and you see how it is. Now the inside, for your insides, all we have to do is weave in all of these ends, and that is it. That is all. Just weave in all your ends, and we can see from the inside where we crossed over and we worked over that we don't have a bunch of these. The only place that I think we really have a good one was here, and that was because I stopped here and didn't continue working on where I could have caught that down. But no worries, as I weave in, I can always tack that down with this part as I weave in, so we don't have anything sticking out. Now my other one, because we're not going to do the weave in together, you can do that. Well, I remember this is one of the first ones like this style that I made, and I just tied them together and slipped them because I was not for all that weaving. And I said, this is my hat. Who's going to look inside my hat unless I ask them to, or I want them to? And I actually kind of like how the inside of this hat is. So here I just tied them, secured them, tying them, and then cut them. But this was the first time that I did it, and just so you see. So if your hat looks like that hat and you're like, I'm not doing all of that, it's quite all right. It is your hat. So all we have to do is weave in. Okay, so let's take a look at this hat one more time on the head. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. I have fun working with you, and I hope you create wonderful little patterns for your hat as well.